Why silence is power. Let me ask you something weird. When was the last time you said absolutely nothing, and it worked perfectly? Like, someone was being rude, or annoying, or just plain wrong, and instead of firing back, you just stayed quiet. And somehow, that made them squirm more than anything you could have said. Yeah, that's not an accident. That's power. And today, I'm going to show you exactly why silence might be the most underrated weapon you're not using. So here's what nobody tells you growing up. We are trained from childhood to fill every gap. Silence in class? Awkward. Silence on a date? Catastrophic. Silence on a phone call? Hello? Are you there? We're terrified of quiet. And that fear? That's exactly what people use against you. Picture this. You're negotiating a salary. You say your number. There's a pause. And what do most people do? They panic. They start talking again. I mean, I know it's high, but I'm flexible, and honestly I could do a little less if needed. Stop. You just negotiated against yourself. The other person didn't say a single word. You handed them the win for free. Silence, in that moment, would have done all the heavy lifting. Now let's talk about what silence says about your confidence, because this one's big. Confident people are comfortable with quiet. They don't scramble to fill every second with words just to prove they belong in the room. They listen, they observe, and when they finally speak, people lean in, because their words are rare. And rare things are valuable. You know that one person in your friend group who barely talks, but when they do, everyone goes, okay, yeah, actually that's a really good point. That's not luck. That's what happens when you stop treating every thought like it needs to be said out loud. Compare that to someone who never stops talking. After a while you just tune them out. It becomes background noise. Like a TV nobody's really watching. Silence is like saving your signal. When you finally send a message, it hits at full strength. Here's another angle, and this one's my personal favorite. Silence protects you from your own mouth. How many times have you said something in anger, or excitement, or without thinking, and immediately regretted it? You sent that text. You said that thing at the dinner table. You opened your mouth in a meeting and it just came out sideways. Here's the cold truth. Your words can be used against you. Your silence cannot. The thing you never said can't be screenshot and sent to the group chat. The opinion you kept to yourself can't start a 3-day argument. The comeback you swallowed can't blow up a friendship. Silence is the ultimate undo button. And unlike Control-Z, it actually works in real life. Let me give you a real-world example that I think really lands. You ever watch a great detective, Sherlock, Columbo, whoever, walk into a room and say almost nothing? While everyone else is explaining and justifying and filling the air with words? The detective is just watching, letting people talk, because nervous people talk, guilty people over-explain, liars add way too many details. Silence is a fishing line. You cast it out, and people can't help but bite. Try it sometime. Someone confronts you with something. Instead of defending yourself immediately, you just look at them. Calm, steady, quiet. Watch how fast they get uncomfortable. Watch them start to backpedal. I mean, it wasn't that serious. I was just saying. You said nothing. You still won. Now let's bring this into relationships. Because this is where silence either destroys you or saves you. There are two kinds of silence in conflict. One is the cold, passive-aggressive shutdown, the silent treatment, the door slamming quiet. That's not power. That's just petty with extra steps. The other kind is the intentional pause. The, let me think before I react, silence. That one? That's a superpower. Most arguments escalate because both people are just waiting for their turn to talk. Nobody's actually listening. They're just reloading. But if one person pauses, genuinely stops, breathes, doesn't immediately fire back, the whole energy shifts. The other person slows down too. And suddenly it's a conversation instead of a competition. That one pause has saved more relationships than most people realize. And finally, here's the piece that ties it all together. Silence and depth go hand in hand. Every great thinker, every creative genius, every person who's ever produced something truly remarkable, they all talk about needing quiet to do their best work. Not just physical silence, but internal silence. Turning off the noise of other people's opinions, the scroll, the constant reaction cycle. In a